Hello everyone, in today's video we will discuss leave management, so let's begin. Now these are all the topics that we will cover one by one. So the first is holiday list. Now holiday list will include the list of the dates on which an employee will have holiday. So let's quickly go ahead and create a holiday list. So right now holiday list obviously will come under HR module in the leave section over here. And let's add the holiday list name as holiday for 2022. So here it automatically selected the due date, that is, it will be created annually. And here we have this adding weekly holidays. So for example, if I select Sundays as off, then all the dates between this from date and to date will be added to the holiday. Here all the Sundays are included. And let's also go ahead and add Saturdays. So we got the list of all the dates on which an organization will have holiday. And also let's go ahead and add Christmas as day off. Let's add here the description as Christmas. And let's click on save. So now the holiday list has been created. Now here if you see, we have all these options to which the holiday list can be linked. So one good way is that we can directly link it to the company. So this way the holiday list will be universal and will be applied to everything. That is, it will be applied to employee, it will be applied to department, and then to service level agreement over here. So this service level agreement, it actually comes under the support module. And also over here we have this color, that is, if I select the color as, let's select a color as this purple over here. So now in the calendar it will show purple color on the dates where the organization will have holiday. So this is how the calendar will look over here. If you see Saturdays and Sundays are marked as purple, basically it means that that is a day off for the organization. The next topic is leave period. So let's quickly go ahead and create a leave period and understand what it actually does. So I'll click on leave period over here and I'll say create your first leave period. Now here what we are actually doing is we are specifying a duration for which all the leave allocations will be done, and then leave encashment will be done. All that will be done based on the period that we are specifying over here. So for example, I'll create a leave period from December 1st of 2021. Now the due date it will automatically add, that is, it is added on the yearly basis. Now here if you see, this leave period is linked with a company. So if you have more than one company, then you need to create one more leave period applicable to that another company, or even if it is a child company. And here we will add a holiday list, like for example, we can create another holiday list which will include all the optional holiday. So if an employee wants to avail those holiday, that we can link it to this leave period. Now if you don't have any such optional holiday list created, then you can keep this particular field empty. And let's click on is active and we will click on save. So based on the leave period that we have created, we can now go ahead and create a leave allocation. Now leave allocation we will see in some time. So that was all about the leave period. Now we will go ahead and continue with the next topic, that is leave type. So let's quickly go ahead and create a leave type and understand what all different fields it have and understand the meaning of all those fields. So I'll go to the HR and I'll click on leave type and let's add a leave type. So here if you see, there are various sections. So let's understand one by one what all they mean. So first is, let's name the leave type as a sabbatical. Now here you need to add the maximum allocation allowed. So for example, if I say 15, now remember that we just created a leave period, right? So for that particular leave period, only 15 leaves will be allowed at a time. Now here we can add applicable after working days. So for example, if you want that employee should avail this type of leave only after they have worked for at least 6 months at your company, so you can add the number of days over here. For example, I'll add, let's say 250 days. So now after employee have completed 250 days at your company, they'll be allowed to avail this leave. Now next is maximum consecutive leaves allowed. So for example, let's say I add 7 over here. So what will happen is employee can take 7 continuous leaves at a time, and if I say 15, that means they can take 15 continuous leaves at a time. Now since this is a sabbatical, adding 15 is a correct thing to do. Now let's go ahead and see what all these fields over here mean, options mean. Now first is carry forward. So if I enable this, and for some reason if employee have not availed this leave in the leave period that we created, what will happen is that all the number of leaves will be carried forward to the next leave period. So here if you can also set how many leaves they can carry forward. So let's say if an employee have we can add 5 over here. That means even if an employee have 15 unused leave, they can only carry forward 5 leaves. I hope you understood this, and I hope you're not confused with this. And here we can also add like how many days after this carry forwarded leaves will expire. So for example, let's add 150. So after 150 days, what will happen is this 5 carry forwarded leaves that we have added, they will be expired. They won't be available for an employee to avail. And then here, if it is a leave without pay, then we can enable that this is a leave without pay. That means an employee won't get paid for it and the salary will be deducted. Now this salary deduction is all covered in the payroll module, so you can refer to that. Now I'll leave it as it is, like I don't consider this as a paid leave. Okay, now here we have is optional leave. That means it is up to an employee whether to take this leave or not. So for example, if I say that this is an optional leave, so what it means is that the organization will be running that day, and some employee who wants to take a leave, they can go ahead and take a leave for that day. That's what it means. Now next is allow negative balance. So in order to explain this, I'll go to a sick leave over here. And here if I say, for example, here if you see there are no maximum leave allocation allowed. So for example, let's say I am saying that only 4 leaves are allowed. Alright, and I'm enabling allow negative balance. So what will happen is, like if an employee have used all their leaves and they want more leave, so we can enable this, that is allow negative balance. Now this makes sense for adding negative balance makes sense for sick leave. So that's what it means. I hope you understood it. Now I won't enable it for sabbatical. And then we have include holiday within leaves as leave. So for example, if an employee is taking holiday for 4 consecutive days from Friday to Monday. So if I say that include holiday within leaves as leave, then Saturday and Sunday, even though they are holiday, they'll be considered as a leave. Okay, I hope this made sense to you. So is compensatory over here, it means that, for example, consider that employee is working overtime, and as a result of that you want to give employee leave as a compensation, then you can enable this option, that is, it is a compensatory leave. Now compensatory leave can be considered as similar to leave encashment, except that for leave encashment you get cash for not using a leave, and here you are getting a leave as a compensation. Let's go ahead and understand what this allow encashment over here means. Now if I enable it, that means this sabbatical leave will be encashable. So if an employee have not used any of his leaves, then this leave can be encashed to him. That means a payment can be done to him. Now we can add an encashment threshold days over here. So there is a formula on the basis of how many days can be encashed, can be calculated. So let's go ahead and understand the formula over here. We have total, consider that the total leaves is 6. Now here we have added total leaves as 15. Okay, and consider that the unused leaves are 3. Now for example, in our case, we will consider that an employee have 10 unused leave. That means he only used the 5 leaves. Okay, then encashment threshold, if we set it as 2, so in our case let's set it as 5. Now remember that employee have 10 unused leave in our example, and we have added encashment threshold days as 5. So 10 minus 5, that means unused leaves minus the encashment threshold days, that number of leave is encashable. So we have 5 encashable leave. And for example, if an employee have, let's say, 8 unused leave, then we will have 3 encashable leave. That's how it will be calculated depending on the unused leaves by an employee. Alright, and here we can add an earning component. Earning component, it is a part of a payroll module, and here let's select leave encashment as the earning component, that is a salary component. I hope this wasn't very confusing, so that's why we have this section over here in order for you to understand the formula better. So let's go ahead and understand what this earned leave over here mean. Now I'll use another leave type in order to explain the earned leave better. So we will use privileged leave as an example. Now here if you see that maximum leave allocation allowed is 0, I'll set it as 12. That means total 12 privileged leave can be allocated to an employee. Now here we have an earned leave option. So if I enable it, I'll get this all fields. So let's understand what it actually means. Now here we have the frequency, that is monthly, quarterly, half yearly and yearly. So if I set it as monthly, and so what will happen is each month one leave will be allocated. Since I have added the number as 12 and we have 12 months, each month there will be one leave allocated. Now if I set it as, let's say, 15, so based on the rounding over here, for example we have 0.25, 0.51, so based on the rounding the number of leaves will be allocated each month. So for ease of understanding, what I'll do is I'll keep it as 12 and I'll keep rounding as 1. Okay, and also here we have based on date of joining. So what will happen is, like if an employee have joined the company on 14th of January, then on each 14th of any month this leave will be allocated to an employee. So let's enable this based on date of joining, and what I'll do is I'll click on save. Let's go ahead and create a leave allocation for an employee, and we will see, for example here if you see this is an employee, and here when an employee will give a leave application, it will already show like what all leaves have been allocated to them and how many they have used, how many leaves have expired. All this information will be shown over here. Now this employee doesn't have privileged leave allocated to them, so what we will do is we'll go ahead and create a new leave allocation. So let me just click on employee, that is Emily, and I'll say to date as, let's say 31st of March, and let me click on save, and also I'll click on submit. Now the reason why we are doing the allocation is in order to see what it will show over here. So let me just refresh it, and so after refreshing, if you see the privileged leave over here, it is showing as 0. That means an employee haven't earned the leave yet. Now even if we have set the maximum allocated leave allowed as 12, the leave it is showing is 0 because we have set it as earned leave. So I hope you understood the purpose of the earned leave and what it actually means and how is the allocation done. So that was all about the earned leave, and that was all about the leave type. The next topic is leave block list. So it will include the list of dates on which an employee cannot apply for leave. So let's go ahead and take a look at the leave block list that I've already created. So over here I have already created a leave block list, and over here I have added the list of dates on which are considered as a block days. So for example, in some emergency case an employee wants to take a leave on that day, then here we can add an approver. So right now what will happen is only this user will be approving the leave that are applied for the block dates. So let's add one more date. Let's say that 31st of December is a block date, and I'll name it as a meeting. So let's go ahead and I'll quickly create a leave application. I'll add the from date as 31st of December, and let's consider that we are taking a casual leave on that day. So now when I save it, the employee will get a message saying that we have applied leave application contains the block date, and the email will be sent to HR user, and approval will be done by the user that is mentioned over here. So that was all about leave block list. I hope you understood the purpose of it and how it works. So let's go ahead and continue with the next topic, that is leave policy. Now leave policy is introduced in version 13, and it includes the list of all the leave that we can add along with the how many leaves that we want to allocate to all the employee, so that we can go ahead and create leave policy. Let's add a new leave policy. So what happens is here we can add the different type of leave type, and here we can add the allocation. So for example, if I'll say that, let's say privilege leave, so here the privilege leave, the total number is coming in from the leave that we have added over here already. Here if you see maximum leave allocation allowed is 12, so that number of leaves can be allotted. Let's add some more leaves. Casual leave, let's say that we want to allow 5 casual leave, and sick leave 4, let's click on save. So leave policy is very simple. What we are doing here is we are adding all the different type of leave and we are adding the annual allocation. That's it. Let's click on submit. So now once this is submit, what we can do next is we can assign this entire leave policy to an employee. So let's assign it and see what happens. So I'll assign it to me. Assignment based on, so there are 2 options here, that is leave period or joining date. So if I assign it based on leave period, so whatever leave period will be active, that will be considered as the, like over here if I select this one, so we created this leave period that is from 1st of December to the next of 30th of November. But if I select the joining date, so what will happen is the day that the employee joined the organization, from that date till the whole next year. So that will be considered. Basically all the leaves will be allocated from between this date. I hope I'm making it clear now, but I'll do it based on the leave period, and let's click on save. Now what will happen is, like, once I submit this, all the leave allocations will be created. So let me just submit and I'll show it to you. So here if you see, we can see that there are 4 leave allocations. So the leave allocation is coming in from the leave policy that we created. I'll just open a new tab. Here if you see, in this leave policy we have added 4 different type of leave. So for each leaves a leave allocation will be created. So this one, if you see, for travel leave, sick leave, casual leave and privilege leave. So all of this leave allocation is created individually based on the leave policy. So this is leave policy is a really nice feature, because earlier what it used to happen was that we had to create a leave allocation individually. So for example, if you want to assign casual leave for someone, then you have to do it individually. So now let's go ahead and understand leave allocation a bit better. Let's take a look inside what all is added in the leave allocation. So here if you see, there is a leave type and leave policy assignment. So leave type is the important section over here, that is leave allocation is created for each individual leave. And since this leave allocation was created because we created a leave policy assignment, that's why here it is showing that this document over here is linked. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead to one of the employee and I'll create leave allocation from there. So let me click on this and I'll click on leave allocation over here. So I'll select my name, and now here let's say we have sabbatical. Consider that I want to give this employee a sabbatical, and here let's add the date. So consider that between 1st of January to 30th of June, this employee can avail a sabbatical. Alright, so here we also need to allocate the total number of leaves that we are allocating this employee. But for now, let's add 15 and let's click on save. And let's click on submit. So here we have allocated one more leave to an employee, that is we have allocated a sabbatical leave. And here, since you see that this was created independently, like it wasn't created because we created leave policy assignment, that's why there is nothing linked over here. So what I'll do is next topic. So this was all about leave allocation. We will cover the next topic, that is leave application. So let's go ahead and see what it is. So I have an employee login over here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create a leave application. If you see here, it will show all the allocated leaves for the employee. So these are all the leaves that we have allocated. Now you must be questioning that why is the sabbatical leave not here. So let me just go to that sabbatical leave that we created. And here if you see, this leave is applicable after minimum of 250 working days. Now since this employee have recently joined, that is, it has been like 20 days from the date of joining for this employee. Let me just show that to you. So here if you see, the date of joining is 24th of December. That's why the sabbatical leave is not showing over here. So let's continue. So consider that this employee is applying for a casual leave, and here we can say that casual leave an employee wanted from 12th of January to, let's say, 13th of January, basically for 2 days. Okay, and he will say that out of station. So here the leave approver should automatically be added. So what we need to do is for each employee we also need to set a leave approver. Let me just go ahead and set it. I think I've not set it yet. Here we have approver, so let's add a leave approver. So I'll add alright. So usually what happens is this leave approver will be automatically added. Since I added it right now, that's why it is not added yet. And that's what it is. Let's just click on save. After saving, what happens is that this leave approver will receive an email saying that this particular employee have applied for leave. So what we will do is we'll now go ahead and check whether we got the email or not. So here this is how the leave application notification will look like. This is how leave approver will receive a notification saying that this employee have applied for leave. So now in order to approve this leave, what will happen is this employee need to log in and submit the leave approval. So here leave approver is able to see this leave applications. That is, if you see, there are 4 leave applications which are currently open and have not been approved yet. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and approve this leave application. So you need to approve it first and then only you'll be able to submit it. So let's click on save and let's click on submit. So here this leave application have been approved. After the leave application have been approved, the employee will be notified, and here let's take I'll refresh it from the employee login. Like right now I'm in the employee login and we will see. So here if you see, that employee can see that this leave have been approved, and that's how the leave application works. So let's understand the next topic, that is leave encashment. So the next topic is leave encashment. Now we have a whole different video, a very detailed video actually, about leave encashment, like how to create leave encashment. So this leave encashment is actually connected with the payroll module, so you need to watch those videos in order to understand that. So in this video I'll give a brief and I'll link those videos below in the description box so that you can go ahead and understand it. So for now I'll just explain you what all is added in leave encashment. So leave encashment can be created by an employee. So over here if you see, I'm in employee login and I have this leave encashment option over here. So before creating a leave encashment, you need to assign a salary structure for an employee, and in the salary structure you need to also add the leave, like how much is the leave encashable amount. So for example, I'll show you here a salary structure. Let me just go over here. Let's say I'll click on create new salary structure. So here if you see, we have the leave encashment amount per day. So whatever amount that I will add, that much will be considered, that much amount will be encashed based on the number of leaves. And here we need to, let's go to the salary structure and let's go to the salary component. So here if you see, we have a salary component for leave encashment. So based on this component, the encashment will be done to an employee after an employee applies for leave encashment. So if I click on create your first leave encashment, you need to assign salary structure, that is compulsory. So since I have not assigned, it is giving me that option. And here you need to select the leave type. Now after we assign the salary structure, the leave type will automatically be considered over here, that is leave encashment. And here we have the encashment date, like on which date am I asking for leave encashment. That is So that is what this all is about. I hope you understood it. Alright, so let's go ahead and understand the next topic, that is compensatory leave request. So here what happens is, for example, let's say an employee worked on holiday. So now an employee is eligible for this compensatory off. That is, consider that employee worked on a Sunday, so an employee can ask for any day of the week off. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a compensatory leave request. Again, I'll use the employee login. That is, here if you see an employee have an option to apply for compensatory leave request. Now before applying for compensatory leave request, you need to make sure that you have assigned a holiday list to an employee. So let me go over here, like this is the employee over here, details, and here I've assigned the holiday list, that is India holidays. So based on that, we will be able to, like an employee will be able to apply for this leave. Now let's create a first leave request. Now here the way this leave request works is that it is connected with an attendance. So if an employee's attendance is marked for the day of holiday, then only the employee will be able to apply for this. So let me give you an example. I'll say that work from date, consider that 27 to 28. Alright, and let's say that worked on holiday. So here I'll get a message saying that days between this are not valid holidays. So basically the way this works is that this leave is only applicable for the day which an organization will have holiday. So for now what I'll do is I'll click for Sunday. I'll apply for this off for Sunday and I'll click on save. So the reason I'm able to save it is because this employee over here have an attendance marked for Sunday. Like here if you see, I have marked this attendance for 26th, that was Sunday. So that's why the employee is able to apply for compensatory off. Now here there is no notification, like there is no standard notification, so you can go ahead and create a standard notification which will inform the leave approver or another manager about the compensatory off requested by the employee. So I hope you understood all the topics that we have covered. Let me just also, so here if you see, I can go to the HR module. So here I can see the leave, compensatory leave request that an employee have submitted, and like once I'm approving it, I'll be able to submit it. So here the good thing would be to create a workflow, like adding up levels of approval over here. So that would be a good idea. I hope you understood all the different type of leaves that we covered. So we covered everything, that is we covered holiday list, we covered leave type, and all of the topics mentioned here. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any doubts, do ask them, and thank you.